Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Figure Forecast podcast with your host, Scarlett, and my lovely co-host, Maeve. Today, we have new IFBB Figure Pro, Michelle Jones, aka Delt Queen, Shelly, on the podcast. We asked Shelly to come on a few weeks ago as we were watching her season unfold, and we just had to get her on to chat to her. Obviously had a fantastic weekend just gone at the British finals, so welcome, Shelley, and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your journey. Like, anybody who doesn't know who you are, I'm sure most people do in the UK, but this is obviously reaching more people. So tell everybody about yourself, and welcome to the podcast.
Right, thank you so much for having me on, first of all. It was actually an honor when you asked me a few weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. But going back, so way back, my roots really started in swimming and javelin throwing. So that's where the top line came from.
Swimmer shoulders, yeah.
And then I don't know if many people know, I have posted it on Instagram, so I'm not afraid of talking about it. I then gained an eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, which sort of like sucked the life out of me for a fair few years. And then from there, I then went on to binge purge and just really suffering with mental health. And I went to uni and I was with my husband, and he said, "What's going to make you happy, Shell?" And I was like, "A female with muscle. That is what I want. The only way for that to happen is to eat and to train." So that's literally what I've done. He got me my first bodybuilding gym membership when I went to uni in Plymouth. Fell in love with it from get-go. It literally was a lifesaver. And then competed for the first time in 2019. So, and then it just continued from there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Go on, sorry. Did you first start in figure then?
I did. I went straight in at the end, IFBB. Boof, I didn't know what I was heading for. But yeah, I just loved it from get-go. And I'm like, all my friends and family were like, "I don't know how you're going to do it, Shell. You're the most unconfident person, never wore heels." But yeah, I don't know, something inside me, when they said I couldn't do it, I was just like, nah, I am going to do it, and I'm going to prove you all wrong. And yeah, from there, absolutely loved it. And from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, it's all I think about.
That's crazy. For you, like, obviously starting, I'm sure in this world, like, a lot of people have either been affected themselves or would be able to name one, if not more, people around them that have suffered with eating disorders. So that journey from that, like, quite a dark place into this new world, this new challenge, like, a totally different to approach, totally different mindset. Like, how did that go for you? Like, how was it? Was that decision, okay, I want to look like this, and it was like okay, I'm gonna do this? Was it a long process? Like, how did you kind of go from one to the other?
You know what? I always looked up Nicole Wilkins. Like, she was figure, and I used to watch, signed up to her membership account, and sorry if you can hear the dogs, by the way.
Love dogs.
So yeah, I signed up to her account and just fell in love with it. And then I think, let's be honest, there's a real structure in bodybuilding, and I love that. So I'm on a meal plan, no matter if I'm in off season or if I'm in prep. But I just thrived off of, in improvement phase, seeing my lifts improving, and then in prep, seeing my body change to the way that it needs to be for stage. So I thrive off of those changes.
Yeah.
Did you find that, like, because you had to eat to support the muscle growth that you wanted to achieve, that helped with your past with eating disorders? Because, like, I've similar, not anorexia, but sort of similar in the past, and when I started training, that was my, like, way of fuel in my body to support that. And I feel like that's where a lot of people do kind of find bodybuilding helpful. Obviously, it can go both ways. You know, people can develop eating disorders because of bodybuilding, but I do think it does help a lot of people get out of that as well, with the structure and the, you know, you're not going to get strong and build muscle if you don't eat. So it kind of helps with that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like with what you said about some people say, oh, but you're creating an eating disorder. It certainly hasn't done that for me. In fact, it's proved to me that I can eat in an excess and still look good, still feel good mentally as well as physically. I think it's given me more structure and more belief that I can go out. For example, my first post show, that was hard. That was a hard one. But then I also didn't have a coach that supported me post show. So I had a coach that as soon as my show finished, I didn't hear from him again. And that was hard. But then obviously being with a coach like Tom, who I'm with now, it's like boom, boom, boom. You've only got 2 days, then you're checking in with me regardless. And it's that accountability. And it's been absolutely fine. So I think it's the support network that you have really helps with just improving in all aspects, like having that better relationship with food. It's always going to be there, and that's what you need to remember.
Yeah.
Like the thoughts can kind of be there, and you just need to develop the kind of push it out strategy. Yeah.
So like, for example, my calories have gone up to 3K straight away. So
Nice.
I've got enough food in. Yeah, straight away. So like in my off season, my food was about 4,500. So my food goes high. I'm a big eater. So I've got enough food to like be satisfied.
Yeah. Just fair.
I don't think I've ever had my food that high.
No. Was that a kind of an adjustment mentally, like to actually know you're consuming that much food? Like, is that ever on your mind? Is it like, do those thoughts ever be like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think because I'm on guys, can you hear me because of the dogs?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll chuck them out in the garden. Because oh god. So ask me the question again, honey.
When it comes to food, like, because let's say I'm dealing with a client who has never eaten over 1,500 before, knowns to themselves, right? So when I say, okay, we're now eating 2,200, they're like, holy shit, no, it's the number. So is it like a mental kind of adjustment when you're obviously used to kind of backing away from food, and then you mentally have to know, like, shit, I'm eating that much? Is that ever a struggle?
Yeah. You know what? No, it's not. I think also because I'm on a meal plan and I'm told what to eat, I don't even look at the calories. But then it gets to this point in off season in particular where I thrive off of seeing my calories go up. I'm like, oh yes, I'm now hitting this boundary. And then because I then think to myself, this is putting me in such a good position for prep. Like I don't need to be eating dust in prep because my calories up so high. It's like, for example, this prep, I think the lowest my calories got to was 1,600.
Beautiful.
Like, yeah, last prep was well lower with a weighted vest, 25,000 steps, about an hour on the Stairmaster. This prep, we started off in such a better position, body composition wise. 16,000 steps, no weighted vest. There were periods throughout where I'd done up to an hour on the Stairmaster, but then that came out and then it came back in. So it wasn't consistent the whole way through the prep. So it was sort of like, let's push for a period of time, then let's ease off, then we push again, ease off. And I think it just made me hold on to so much more tissue as well.
Yeah, for sure. When you obviously were chatting about your off season and like being in a much better spot going into this prep, between your like last season, sorry, and this season, how long was your off season? What was the focus? Like, what did that look like?
So the off season was 8 months. And the goal was just to grow legs. So I was training legs 3 times a week. So yeah, and it worked. You know, I put on size on my legs 100%. I was lighter on stage, but I was also a hell of a lot leaner on stage. So
Amazing.
Yeah, because I remember watching your the live stream of last season.
Yeah.
When you went out to Alicante, didn't you?
I didn't know. I just done Braywick.
Oh, did you? I thought you went up because I remember
No.
taking videos. Yeah, because you had your pink suit on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Um,
No.
but well, anyway,
It was British.
those are the
Yeah,
British finals. Yeah,
British finals. Yeah.
yeah. Because it's you definitely didn't need to bring up your shoulders anymore. Because I'm just like, oh, what now?
Hashtag goals. Yeah,
I know.
serious top line. So what is, or tell us about the weekend. Like, how was that experience? And kind of, were you feeling confident going in? How did it feel when they announced your name? Like, what was the aftermath? Was it just completely crazy?
You know what? It was amazing weekend. It was a long weekend because obviously we had to go on the Friday to register, and then men were on Saturday and women were on Sunday. So it was a very long weekend. But you know what? The actual show day was weird because we all got there, timing was perfect. We started at 11. And then because there wasn't as many females what they thought, they brought the show forward. So instead of 4 o'clock, we went on at 2. So we're all sitting backstage like, oh yeah, fine. And then it was like, get backstage now. And we're like, what do we do? I literally just grabbed some honey straight in. Yeah. Then the one girl went missing backstage. So we then couldn't start because one figure girl was missing. Eventually we managed to get hold of her. So we had all started pumping up. All the girls were like, we're all pumping up. And then we all stopped pumping up because we didn't know how long the girl was going to be. Then she turned up, we started pumping up again. So it was all long but fast at the same time. Like on the actual moments, it just sped through. It was weird. I went obviously on stage with some amazing athletes. Like the girls that were surrounding me, I was just in awe. Like to me, everyone looked fantastic. I was so nervous on stage. I couldn't feel me tensing my legs. I couldn't feel them opening up. But yeah, when I stayed center stage, they done a few switches. And then, yeah, when they called my name, I can't even tell you what I thought. My head went blank. So it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
think like
It takes a little bit to settle in. You're just like, what the fuck happened? And what was it like waking up the next day? You're like, oh my God, I'm a pro now.
So the next day, sorry, do you want to sort that? The next day we actually done a family day because I've got 6-year-olds. So we done a family day and we went for a quick sandwich in the morning because my daughter has been wanting sandwich for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's the weirdest sandwich you could ever think of. But I'll tell you what was in it. It was
I need to know.
I know, yeah, we're like, tell us.
It was egg mayonnaise, ham, gherkins, cucumber, onions, and tomatoes, but all in this one sandwich. And I was like, do you know what? I've got to get it for her because she's been absolutely content like putting up with me. So we went and got this sandwich made, done a little bit of pottery painting, you know, the little girly bits. And then yeah, just chilled in the afternoon, nothing really much the following day. The amount of messages I was getting on Instagram, like social media, was insane. And I appreciate every single message by every single person that messaged me. And I hope that I replied to every single one of them. So yeah.
Did you not feel a little bit like overwhelmed as well? Kind of like obviously the massive high of the day and then like everybody kind of coming in on your phone. Like I bet it was a bit sort of overwhelming.
I know exactly. Like I know I've heard people say it before they don't like the term, but that imposter syndrome. And I felt like, do I deserve this? You know, it's been my dream forever. But as I like when I done my Instagram post, I am my biggest critic, and I will never think that I'm good enough for something. So my circle around me are amazing. They know this, and they always say to me, Shell, like, you've got to stop, you've got to think positive, you've got to be confident. And I don't know, something it has made me more of, you wouldn't have got it, Shell, if you didn't deserve it. So
yeah.
It kind of
I
forced
know
you to appreciate what you've achieved.
yeah, like I know I've got areas that I need to improve on, and I'm gonna work my bloody ass off to improve it and bring that pro debut package that I know that I can bring. So yeah,
What
particularly
are the
the legs.
plans for the debut? Have you thought about that yet? Like, have you got any shows that you'd love to do?
No, not really, because we are looking at having around 15 months off to really
Yeah.
grow. Yeah, when he said about the Arnold's next March, I was like, nope, that's not going to happen. I want to bring a package that I know is going to shock.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Well, you only get one pro
that's it.
debut, don't you? So.
Yeah. Ideally, you know, if I can put on 4 kilo of lean muscle tissue, that is my goal.
Yeah. Rewind a little bit. When it was prep, tell us about that. Like, how did it differ to preps you'd done in the past? Or how long was it? What was the go?
So in total, I believe it was 26 weeks. We started in such a better place this year than we did previous years. That, you know what, it was yes, I had probably 1 or 2 days, and I literally 1 or 2 days where I had a few tears of, can I do this? But apart from that, it wasn't anything too hard, you know. And a fair amount of refeeds along the way. The body was responsive the whole way through. The cardio I actually really enjoyed. Like, I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do my cardio pre-work, but I actually really enjoyed that routine of, this is what you got to do. You've got to get up at this time. And then when people say, I haven't got time, well, I'm proving to you, you do have time. You just got to get up earlier.
Yeah.
No.
Have you found that your like body's still like that now though? Like, you're still waking up early? Because I know you said you've got a chill week this week, but are you still up at 4?
Yeah, I'm getting up at 4:30. Giving myself
Treat yourself.
That's it. Give myself a little treat. But I am still finding that I'm still going to bed early. So in prep, there were nights where I was going to bed at 7:30. You know,
no judgment.
I put my daughter to sleep and go straight to sleep myself. She's like, "You going to bed now?" I was like, "Yep." Good night.
Absolutely.
No,
What about this off season? What are the plans? Like you said, you had areas you wanted to improve on. Like, what is your goal? Obviously, grow all over again, the 4 kilos. But is there any specifics you want to really work on?
Yeah, lower limbs. So quads, glutes, and hammies is the biggest area that I want to build on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing 3 sessions last improvement season. I think to start off with, we're going to start with 2 just because of recovery, and then if I feel like I can push it up, then we'll go for that as well. I will also be prioritizing treatment a little bit more this improvement season. Like, I've been speaking to Apex Neuro, and I went and saw them pre-show, and they were talking to me about systems that they can put in place to help with my muscle connection to my legs, that I'm going to take on board as well. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's that? What does that involve?
So they are basically increasing I may slate this and they'll hate me for it, but it's the neurological signals to the working muscle. So for example, if they were to put patches, the magnetic patches.
The electro stimulators. Yeah. Loads of people are using that. They're meant to be savage. Yeah.
Exactly. And it just helps you use the whole muscle belly, rather than, you might have a lazy hamstring, and so the other hamstring does all the work. Do you?
I have 2 very lazy fucking hamstrings.
So they'll just use it to make that other hamstring work, so that you are getting the most out of that lift. So yeah.
That's exciting.
My post box is open.
Can I get a couple of them for my ass?
Just for everybody in the audience. Amazing. So your approach post-show this week, you're taking a full week off. Is that something that you did in the past? Is that different to like how you would have managed reverses and recovery and stuff in the past?
But you know what? Last year I had hernia surgery, week post-show. And then I needed 8 weeks off of no training. And the muscle growth I got from having 8 weeks off, it was like newbie gains.
Really?
So I highly recommend people take weeks off. But no, so I know that my body responds well from having rest.
Yeah.
So I will be implementing when it's needed. The thing with me is I can't do a deload where I go in and just half-ass. So I prefer to just train at all, just have full rest, just don't train.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, some people are like that. I think when you're either like you're so like programmed to train to failure, when you have to just, it's hard to know how to leave some reps in reserve, isn't it? I mean, like, it's like, what is that?
Like peak week, you could
I
do
am actually learning how to do that a little bit more. Sorry.
I said peak week, you could leave reps in reserve because you're absolutely screwed. But the thing there, it's hard to back off a little bit.
Yeah, especially when you enjoy training.
Yeah.
So there are some questions we ask everyone who comes on, and I think I know your answer already though. What is your death row meal? So anything, starters, mains, desserts, whatever you like. What is your last meal on this planet?
You know what? I've watched your podcast every time and always think I'd have this. And now you've asked me, it's like, oh. Oh God, do you know what? Starter, Jack Daniel's sesame strips from TGI Fridays.
Oh, yum.
My main, it's hard because I'm a lasagna gal, but then I also am a pizza gal, so it's got
Lasagna pizza.
So yeah, half and half.
That's it. And then anything Biscoff or donuts.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm pretty sold on all of the above.
It's got to be.
So good.
It's literally like lasagna season as well now, isn't it? Like probably not where you are.
Not where I am. Anything worse. Oh, it's smoothie season. Smoothie season, and I wish it was ice cream season.
Frozen yogurt.
Yeah, frozen yogurt. I really want a Ninja ice cream maker. Really, really want one. Need.
Good though.
Which?
You look good.
They do. They look so good, and I've seen so many good recipes. I'm trying to wear him down to buy one for the summer. That is it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please do give it a little thumbs up on whatever platform you are listening on it, and consider sharing it over on social so we can spread the word. See you all again next week.
Bye.